Hey guys, it's Jenny Hobbs, Fit Mom MD, and today I want to talk with you about the 4 biggest distractions that are keeping you from your weight loss goals. So this is based on my own experience losing weight and keeping it off over the years, going through pregnancies, finally finding a system and a mindset that worked for me to keep it off, as well as from coaching many other women like myself over the last 5 years. So let's get right to it. It's a lot of information to cover. So first of all, exercise. I know. We always hear that exercise is so important, and it absolutely is. It's important for your overall cardiovascular health. It's important for your long-term health in other ways as well. Obviously has many benefits in terms of mindset and energy and strength. And I personally, as a health coach, I highly recommend exercise. However, it is not the most important thing when it comes to losing weight. The most important thing is your nutrition. And unfortunately for many people, exercise becomes a distraction because they are putting their time and effort into finding the perfect workout and making time for the perfect workout. And they're actually, working out during hours that they maybe need to be spending learning about nutrition and preparing healthy meals and going to the grocery store. And so it can be a huge distraction and actually time suck away from what really matters when it comes to nutrition. I had this experience myself. I used to run marathons trying to lose weight, and I was spending hours and hours running, but I wasn't paying that much attention to my nutrition, and I was never losing weight. I actually stopped working out completely, stopped running, stopped everything, and just did nutrition for 3 months, and that's when I began to finally see results. And that's when I really realized how true this is. The other thing is that when you exercise, sometimes, obviously you gain muscle mass, which can weigh more. And then also, as your muscles are growing, they can retain water, they can become sore, they can actually make you retain more fluid, and then your weight may go up. And that can be very discouraging, especially when you're starting out and you have a lot of weight to lose, to see the scale going up because of your workouts. And again, there's a lot of other hormonal reasons and things like that, but really nutrition changes are the #1 way that you're gonna see that scale start to come down. The other problem with exercise is that sometimes people miss a workout or they get injured and they can't work out, and they go into a bit of a tailspin, like, oh, I failed, I missed a workout, I can't work out, I can't be healthy, I can't be fit, I might as well just give up. And then they start to eat and be emotional, and they abandon their nutrition, and then they're just back where they started. This happens all the time to my clients. They're very busy moms. A lot of them, may have injuries as, different reasons may come up. And then I see them quitting on themselves, and it breaks my heart because I know that really the key is just in their nutrition, and that they could still be very healthy and achieve a healthy weight regardless of the exercise piece. And again, I am a big proponent of exercise that has a lot of benefits, and it can really help you with the way you look and feel. But when push comes to shove, the most important thing in your mind when it comes to your weight loss should be nutrition, and exercise should take a back seat. And it's such a distraction in a negative way when it takes away in terms of time and focus, and even potentially makes you discouraged about your progress. So there's lots more we can say about that. I could go on about it all day, but I want to make sure that we get to the next one. So the next thing that is distracting you from your goals is guilt, and guilt over treats in particular. So often people think, oh man, I had a cookie, or I had some chips, or I had this party and, I had too much to eat. And they feel so guilty over this one treat they had on Friday night or Saturday night or whatever. And they think, I can never do this. I'm going to have to give up. I can't reach my goals. And they just want to quit. But here's the thing. If you are eating healthy 80-90% of the time and you have a treat here and there, it is not going to derail you, okay? Over the long haul, those will be like a drop in the bucket compared to all the healthy choices you're making. So what is much worse than that one treat that you had is the guilt that you're carrying that's turning you into this spiral where you're then continuing to make poor choices the next day and the next day and thinking, I might as well give up, okay? So treats are just a distraction. Honestly, people often think, oh, well, I just can't even do any health and fitness because I can never give up XYZ. No, you can pretty much have any treat that you want to have in moderation in a healthy diet and be at a healthy weight, okay? Now, you may not be able to have it as often as you might like, but you can have it. I would much rather you worry about what you're eating, throughout the day for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and what you're eating throughout the week than what happens at, one special event. And so often people just let these special events derail them. Like the holidays are a great example. You have like a couple holiday parties and you're like, well, I might as well just give up on my goals and not think about what I'm eating until January 1st. No, think about what you're eating all day long, all through December and, plan to have a great time at the special events. Even if you had a special event every 3 or 4 days, if the rest of the time you were really on point with your nutrition and paying attention, those events wouldn't add up so much. The problem is that we're so all or nothing about it, and then we let the whole month go, right? So don't let treats and guilt be a distraction, and guilt about treats. Plan those into your plan, and don't be like, I have to go off the wagon because I had a treat. Just, let the treat be a bump in the road and keep going and don't give up. Okay. And this is one reason I personally like the plans that we do where, you can have things in moderation, you can have treats. It's not like cutting out an entire food group. It's very flexible. But as long as you have that mindset that you're not going to do it every single day, that's the key. And I just think so often people think when I ask them about their nutrition, they think I'm asking about the cookies they ate on Friday. No, I'm asking, what did you eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Because usually the key is actually there and the stuff you're not thinking is very bad or very important, but that's actually where you need to make the tweaks. The third thing that I see distracting people is what other people are eating. So everyone's body is different. Everyone's physiology is different. Everyone's going to respond differently to different meal plans. And in particular, I personally used to be very distracted by what my skinny friends were eating, right? I was struggling to lose weight and I would look at what my skinny, thin friends were enjoying. And I thought, well, if I eat like her, then I should also be at a healthy weight. Didn't work. It's never worked for me. And so I actually looked into this a little bit when I first started this whole journey, and I discovered they'd actually studied this. They've done a twin study where they put people in, they force them to be inactive and eat a very high calorie diet. And they observed them, and they found that within twin pairs, they gained the same amount of weight. But between different families of twin pairs, they gained completely different amounts of weight, right? So eating high caloric food and not exercising is going to have a much bigger impact on some people than on others. That's just the way that it is. We're all different. And so your skinny friends, maybe they can eat like that and get results. Your friend, you may be able to do intermittent fasting or keto or whatever it is, and it may work great for her, but it may or may not work great for you. So you've got to stop being distracted by what you see other people doing and rather focus on what works for you and your body. And there's lots of different things that we can talk about. If you work with me as your coach, I kind of work with this, about different systems that work for different people. But at the end of the day, you have to start with a mindset that it doesn't matter what anybody else eats, this is your body. What I used to tell myself is it's kind of like an allergy. Like maybe that person can eat that way. If I eat that, my body can't handle that. So I have to think of it like an allergy. My body doesn't handle that well, just like if someone was allergic to something, it doesn't handle it well, right? And so I kind of came to a breaking point where I was like, well, I can either eat what other people eat and be overweight, and that's just how it's going to be, or I can decide to learn to eat differently and figure out what works for my body, and then I will, achieve my goal. And that's what I ended up doing. I said, I'm putting a line in the sand, and from here on out, I'm not going to worry about what other people are doing or what I think I should be doing or what should work for me. I'm just going to, stay the course and keep going forward on what works for my body. And that's how I've been able to maintain it since 2012. So don't get distracted by what other people are eating. Worry about you. And don't get distracted feeling bad that you can't eat what skinny people eat. Like, good for them. That's great. If someone can do that and their body doesn't respond that way, they've probably got other things they want to worry about. That's fine. Everybody's different. And then the fourth distraction that I want to talk about is what you feel like eating. So here's the thing, guys. We are surrounded by hyper-caloric, hyper-palatable food, this delicious food everywhere we go. Most of us have the means to Grubhub or Postmate, whatever we want to eat. We can, grab it, pick up, take out on the way home, which my husband and I used to do this every single night. We would call each other while we were both driving home and be like, what should we get? Greek or Thai or pizza or whatever sounded good, we ate it. And then whatever sounded good in the hospital cafeteria, we grabbed that. Whatever sounded good for breakfast, grab that. And if you eat based on what sounds good at all your meals, what's going to sound good is not going to be what's going to achieve your goal of losing weight. Okay, it's just not, because we have too much food that sounds and tastes too good. That's what all these, food manufacturers are here doing, is making our food taste so good that we can't say no, right? And so the fact is you cannot be distracted by what you feel like eating all the time. Now, again, it's okay to have treats. It's okay to have times when you eat something that you're craving. But you need to keep those to a minimum and don't think all the time, what do I feel like? And this is why meal planning is so key, right? Or at least having a general plan or system to follow so that you're not falling into this trap of what you feel like eating, especially when you're tired and hungry after work. And if you think about it, remote ancestors, right? They had to work hard to get their food. They weren't able to just like push a button and have whatever they wanted at their beck and call. And so we have to realize our bodies are not really designed to just be eating like that all the time. And so during the day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, most days you should be eating based on what you know will fuel your body the best, achieve your health goals, make you feel the best. And then have certain times where you're looking forward to some sort of treat, okay, and keeping those to a minimum. And personally for me, I've actually found it more enjoyable because I eat my healthy, wholesome food throughout the week, and then I look forward to the treat meal we're gonna have or the date night we're gonna have and what I'm most craving, and then I fully enjoy it rather than just sort of eating based on whims. So I don't eat during the day based on, this sounds good, but rather on what I know is right for me in my meal plan at that point in time. And guys, I'm not a girl that likes vegetables naturally. Vegetables are never gonna sound like what I wanna eat. But over time, I have actually found that now I do kind of want to eat more vegetables because I forced myself to eat those things when I didn't feel like it, okay? And so it does get easier. Don't think you're never gonna feel like you wanna eat the healthy food. You will. You'll actually get to the point where after a treat night or something, you're craving getting back to your normal healthy food. I promise. It takes time, it takes consistency, but you get there. So those are the 4 things. Do not be distracted by exercise, by treats and guilt about treats, by what other people are eating, especially your skinny friends, or by what you feel like eating in the moment. So if you can take those 4 things out and just focus on you and what works for you 80% of the time, eating according to your goals with scheduled treats and no guilt and moving forward, I'm telling you what, and you just don't give up, you will get there, okay? So I hope this is helpful to you. I do online coaching and online boot camps and groups with support and community and all kinds of mindset tips, complete meal plans, supplements, workouts, all that stuff is all combined. You can use the application I'll put in the comments below if you'd like to apply to work with me for that. And I also, of course, would love it if you find these tips helpful and you want more of them, if you would subscribe and turn on notifications. I love bringing you guys tips not only about health, nutrition, but also about time management and relationships and motivation and mindset. So if there's anything you'd like to hear about, please send me an email, let me know. And I hope that you have an awesome, awesome week.